we try to continue our 18th century cooking demonstrations in this format until our sites are open to the public and we can all meet together safely again.
There are scents and flavors that we associate with memories and seasons. Today's recipes are closely associated in our modern times with holidays. Today we'll be cooking gingerbread, Christmas cookies, and hot chocolate, all done in the manner of 18th and early 19th century cookery.
Gingerbread recipes throughout the 18th century have four basic ingredients: flour, ginger, butter, and some kind of sweetener. This could be honey, could be sugar, or more commonly used was molasses, or in England, treacle. Recipes called common gingerbread consistently use molasses because it's inexpensive. And so if you were trying to save money or your family didn't have a lot of money, you would definitely be sweetening your gingerbread with molasses.
This recipe is from A New and Easy Method of Cookery by Elizabeth Cleland and published in 1755. Recipes of this period often made a large quantity. Half a peck of flour is almost 19 cups. I reduced the recipe to bake a reasonable amount, about 3 dozen. The ingredients we need are flour, molasses, ginger, caraway seed, butter, and candied orange or lemon peel. First, we'll melt our butter in a pot. Once it's melted, we'll add the molasses, and stirring occasionally will bring this mixture to a boil. Meanwhile, in a large bowl, we'll mix our dry ingredients. Once the molasses and butter have combined and have reached a slight boil, we carefully stir this into our dry ingredients. Once the dough has cooled enough for us to handle, we will knead the dough until it comes together smoothly. It'll start out dry, but it will eventually come together and be a very smooth dough. The recipe says to bake them in little cakes on buttered papers. To update this, we'll roll the dough out, cut into desired shapes, and bake them on a cookie sheet lined with parchment paper. We'll then bake in a moderate oven for about 15 to 20 minutes. Now we'll work on our recipe for Christmas cookies. This recipe comes from Amelia Simmons' 1796 cookbook, American Cookery, the first American written and published cookbook. Again, I've cut the recipe to about 1/3 of the original. Our ingredients for this recipe will be flour, coriander, butter, sugar, baking soda, and milk. Our first step is to mix our flour, coriander seed, and sugar. Then, like we're making pie crust, we'll rub in the butter. Once combined to a meal-like consistency, we'll dissolve our baking soda in milk. The original recipe calls for pearl ash, not baking soda. Pearl ash was a leavener made from the ashes of a wood fire. Knead all these ingredients together well, then roll your dough out on a floured surface. The recipe says to roll it 3/4 of an inch thick, and then cut or stamp into the shape and size you please. We'll then bake these for about 15 to 20 minutes. Drinking chocolate recipes can be found in early 18th century cookbooks, though they are often complex, incorporating nuts and various spices and flavors. The recipe we're going to use today is a simple one from Marie Rendell's 1814 cookbook, A New System of Domestic Cookery. This recipe was actually intended to be used for the sick and infirm. I chopped a brick of baker's chocolate into small bits. I then put a pint of water on to boil. Then, both were poured into a chocolate pot and combined until the chocolate was melted. This mixture was put back into the kettle over the fire and boiled. We then poured it into a dish. According to Mrs. Rendell, you can keep this mixture for 8 to 10 days. When you'd like to make some drinking chocolate, combine the chocolate mixture, milk, and sugar. Boil these together and then serve.